So witness the insanity of how the media is reporting the second assassination attempt of former President Donald Trump. And I knew they were going to spin this. I knew they were going to find a way to twist the wording around or put it in a different spotlight than it needs to be. But even this, as you're about to see here, this is NBC Nightly News, where Lester Holt is apparently blaming the assassination attempt again on Trump himself. You're victim shaming the assassination on the victim. That even the way they report this, I hope that the people, even the true viewers of NBC News, could see how stupid that is. I hope that. And what you're about to see here is the most insane, insidious reporting that they could do about this situation. Listen to this.
Today's apparent assassination attempt comes amid increasingly fierce rhetoric on the campaign trail itself. Mr. Trump, his running mate J.D. Vance continue to make baseless claims about Haitian immigrants in Ohio. This weekend, there were new bomb threats in that town.
Amazing how they took the assassination attempt, which they acknowledged for like half a second, and then directly derive that to the migrant crisis in Ohio, which is completely irrelevant. That's a whole different story. That is a whole different situation. And we reported the crisis in Ohio, in Springfield in particular. We know that these Haitian migrants are pouring in because our corrupted business interests are pouring these people in this basically reverse outsourcing bid. That the more they pour in and dangle the carrot of promising them a job here, even though it's slave labor, it's you don't get any benefits. They're cutting back they're not recognizing them as employees whatsoever and barely giving them a wage, that they're promising them, hey, you could stay in this country. That's what's happening. But Lester Holt taking it like way outfield, way outside, way foul out of the park. Going from, yeah, Trump got assassinated, but let's talk about the Springfield, Ohio claim at the debate to try to frame this against Trump. His own assassination. Let me start that again. That's, wow.
Today's apparent assassination attempt comes amid increasingly fierce rhetoric on the campaign trail itself. Mr. Trump, his running mate J.D. Vance continue to make baseless claims about Haitian immigrants in Ohio. This weekend, there were new bomb threats in that town. Our Maggie Vespa is in Columbus, Ohio, with more.
So again, they're trying to do anything to blame Trump for all this, even though, as they're saying that there's bomb threats in Springfield, Ohio, there's also been threats in Florida. There's also been threats in New York. There's also been threats in Michigan. There's also been threats in a lot of different states. There's an increased crime situation going on, and not because of immigration. In fact, statistically, immigrants do the least amount of crime. But maybe it has something to do with the fact that we are at the point that the empire is collapsing. People are striving to survive with what little they have left. And when you have a complete nation in desperation, in dire straits, to the point of desperation, there's going to be high crime. There's going to be high crime. Just like how back in the day when the economy flatlined, and during the Great Depression, there was an uptake in crime. There was an uptake in crime because people were that desperate. Just like how why do you think the Adolf Hitler and the Third Reich and the Nazis got to claim power? because German economy was collapsing. It was collapsing, and people got so desperate that they rolled the dice with this guy. They rolled the dice with Adolf Hitler. They didn't realize it was going to lead to what it became, but they rolled the dice because they're that desperate. And no one ever investigates that. No one ever tells you that. No one ever looks into why exactly there's more crime out there. They want to point the finger and put the blame on someone, but they never looked at why crime is uptaking. But in Lester Holt's case, it's all Trump.
Lester, simply put, Springfield, Ohio has been inundated by threats. Over the last several days, closing government buildings, schools, hospitals. Today, effectively closing a local university campus after administrators said someone threatened a mass shooting targeting Haitians. This in light of, officials say, a false online conspiracy theory alleging Haitian immigrants in that city are eating people's pets.
Today's apparent assassin.
And then they go into the apparent claim of people eating pets, which I don't know the virility of that. As I said beforehand when we covered Springfield last time, the only thing I've heard is that viral video that got attention that people looked at the first thing wasn't actually a Haitian immigrant. That was a lady from Ohio herself. And she was from a completely different town. That's all I know of. And jokingly, considering the cost of, bacon and bread and and milk these days, it's not surprising people would eat pets. Let's just say that. They want us to eat bugs, so, that's like meet in the middle there, right there. Not saying that you should do it. Obviously, I support pets. I have a love affection for pets. So anyway, then it goes into this. So that was NBC News. Now MSNBC, where they bring on top Harris surrogate, Representative Plaskett, who's this new kind of fresh face, she's almost like the Tiffany Haddish of the party. She's trying to be like that edgy, cool, like, yeah, we're that guys, yeah. Told MSNBC Trump needs to be shot. Apparently, on the air. So let's hear what this has to go with.
Having Trump not only have had the codes, but now having the classified information for Americans and being able to put that out and share it in his resort with anyone and everyone who comes through should be terrifying to all Americans, and he needs to be stopped.
So there's an interesting Freudian slip. Oh, he needs to be shot. No, stop. In the same line that she's demanding and pleading that Donald Trump not release documents pertaining to the CIA and the FBI. Do not release those documents because it's damaging to Americans. What documents would be damaging to Americans if we knew about it? How would more information and transparency in our governments that's already unelected, unruly, and unaccountable, what is the damaging factor to Americans? How would it be? How is that damaging to the regular public if, God forbid, we knew what happened with JFK? If, God forbid, someone actually had the audacity to investigate 9/11? Where's the damaging factor? How's that going to be damaging to the everyday American? It isn't. It's damaging to them because they reign the power to misinform you. They reign the power. The more you know about things, the more powerful you become. Knowledge is power, folks. And if they keep you in the dark, they don't want you to have that power. They don't want you to have that knowledge. Because then more people will have acknowledgement of how corrupted our system is, and that would be hurtful for them. Then people can gather together and go, hey, did you hear about this thing? No. Did you hear about this thing? No. hey, maybe we should get together and organize and unite together to stop this tyranny. Right, strict Freudian slip there. And then this came out, which is even more insidious on MSNBC's part. So they've been doing reports in Springfield, Ohio since the debate, since Trump openly stated that there's the Haitian migrant crisis, that they're eating pets, they're eating the dogs, they're eating the cats. They're out there just eating the dogs, the cats, all the pets. And obviously they get reporters out there. They're getting reporters from cable outlets and local news and all over the place to appear in Springfield, Ohio to investigate this. And one independent reporter got bombarded by an MSNBC news crew that pretty much assaulted him. And here's what you're about to see here. It says, I personally confronted the MSNBC reporter here in Springfield, Ohio, who is now on TV with Lester Holt, blaming President Trump for his own assassination attempt. So that reporter you just saw earlier, the reporter you just saw with Lester Holt, this guy, who's an independent investigator, is going to confront the reporter. And she tried to have me arrested. I attempted to ask Maggie Vespa why she is pushing violent, divisive rhetoric on behalf of the Harris campaign, which leads to leftist clowns attempting to kill Trump. She then ran away, called the cops, with 4 units responding in a police department with incredibly tight resources. Americans aren't buying their BS anymore. So watch what happens at this.
So, quick question for you, real quick. So, it seems like a lot of the questions that you were asking, it doesn't seem to address the issue, the actual issues in the. Don't touch me, bro. Don't touch me, bro. No. I'm just asking, because there's an increase in crime in the area. It seems like there's a lot more of a problem here. The questions almost seemed like you were trying to turn him into a victim. Do not touch me.
Back up.
Do not touch me.
Dude, back up.
Back up. Do not.
Back up.
Dude, get the fuck off of me now!
Back up. Back up.
So, take note of the fact that this is a reporter. This is a journalist. And instead of actually just being a journalist and stating what she knows, reporting to the general public, which is what you're doing, that's your entire job, she goes back to the news van to call the cops on this guy who is making accurate questions about the crime rate, where nobody's reporting, nobody's investigating. And Maggie Vespa is getting her, looks like, bodyguard to shove this guy, to assault this guy, attack him. Since when did journalists have bodyguards? When do you need a bouncer to investigate, to do a live news report in a small town? Does that not show you how disconnected and awful the mainstream media is when they have to have a bodyguard to attack citizens in the town that they're reporting? That's just unbelievably wild. Let's watch this again.
So, quick question for you, real quick. So, it seems like a lot of the questions that you were asking, it doesn't seem to address the issue, the actual issues in the. Don't touch me, bro.
Not even acknowledging. Yeah, goodbye. I know where this is going. Just completely dismissive. All you had to do is state what you know. That's literally the purpose of journalism. Is you observe, you write down, and then you tell people about your observations. It doesn't take rocket science. It doesn't take really much credentials. I know there's, journalism schools and people graduate from Columbia University, but really, anyone can be a journalist. And I always stated that the best journalist you can get is yourself. To do your own research, to read into things, to look at different sources and combine them all together so you can make an accurate decision. But the basics of your job, You can't even do that, so you have to get the bodyguard out. You have to get the ex-wrestling freaking motorcycle gang member to attack a civilian.
Don't touch me, bro. No, I'm just asking, like, because there's an increase in crime in the area. It seems like there's a lot more of a problem here. The questions almost seemed like you were trying to turn him into a victim. Do not touch me.
Back up.
Do not touch me.
Dude, back up. Back up.
Do not.
Back up.
Dude,
Back
get
up.
the fuck off of me now.
Back up.
Jeez.
Back up. It ain't gotta be like that. Just back up.
And he says, why do you have to be like that? Why do you have to be like that? Why do you have to be a concerned citizen? Why do you have to ask questions to a journalist to find out the story? Why do you have to be like that? Huh? Why do you have to be an agitator? Can't you just let this girl lie on camera and get a $30,000 check? And that's all we ask. I knew we shouldn't have gone to Springfield. I knew we should have went to friggin' Columbus. These people are nasty. Nasty. They approach me. They ask a question. They're being kind and courteous. What's that about? Oh, man. You mean, consider the fact that this guy is getting assaulted. What you're seeing here, this innocent civilian asking the journalist a question is getting assaulted. I'm surprised how calm he is. Because if I was in his shoes, God only knows, I wouldn't take it well. I wouldn't take it well. If you're gonna physically attack me for asking a question, I know what you're about. I know where this is going. I know who you're working for. I know why you're doing this. And it's not going to end well. It ain't going to be pretty. But wow. Wow. And sadly, it shouldn't be surprising because you see this all the time. You've seen this so many times now that this has become the norm. This has become the norm where you're getting assaulted for asking journalists about their reports or even attacking journalists for doing their job. Remember back when David Menzies of Rebel News got tackled by that undercover RCMP agent that people didn't know he was RCMP? He got tackled down and arrested for doing his job, for asking Chrystia Freeland, the deputy prime minister, the finance minister, a couple questions like any normal journalist would. And now you have a citizen doing the exact same thing. Now they're getting attacked by the journalists, by the mainstream media. Now you know who they work for. Now you know why they do the horrendous job that they do. Now you know why people like me exist. I don't consider myself a journalist, but hey, I gave myself this road because of how horrible this is. And I take that badge of honor and drive it home. Because that's awful. Freaking awful. I want to see this one more time.
So, quick question for you, real quick. So, it seems like a lot of the questions that you were asking, it doesn't seem to like address the issue, the actual issues in the. Don't touch me, bro. Don't touch me, bro. No, I'm just asking, like, because there's an increase in crime in the area. It seems like there's a lot more of a problem here. The questions almost seemed like you were trying to turn him into a victim. Do not touch me.
Back up.
Do not touch me.
Dude, back up. Back up.
Do not.
Back up.
Dude,
Back
get
up.
the fuck.
And all I keep saying is back up, back up, back up. You realize that she's like 5 feet away from him. She's long gone into the news van. You're far away. Like, are you trying to implement the 6-foot rule? Oh, back up, back up, back up. Okay, she's back up, but she's in the news van. Go back up, back up. How dare you ask questions? I don't need your truther knowledge. That's right. We were the society that made truth, being a truther, sound toxic.
Fuck off of me now!
Back up. Back up. It ain't gotta be like that. Just back up.
You do not fucking touch me,
Back
okay?
up.
It ain't gonna be like
Back
that.
up.
Not need to be pushing on him. You back up, bro. Right now.
Ain't what it gotta be.
So then the other guy mocks him. Hey, back up, man. Back up. God, what a freaking stooge. All that lady had to do, even if she didn't want to respond, she could have just easily said, listen, I don't want to respond to that question. I gotta go. Like, just acknowledge the person exists. Because what she's doing there is disregarding a person in Springfield, Ohio that she's reporting from. And that to me is disrespectful. That to me is just awful. You know, you came all the way to this town. You're doing a report on a story about the people in this town. The least you can do, the most humane least thing you can do, is acknowledge the citizens, even if they are asking ridiculous questions. If they are troubling you, the least you can do is acknowledge those people. But no, I'm going to walk away, say nothing, and have this doopy bodyguard, this Hell's Angel biker, to attack a civilian, to push him around. Hey, back up, back up. God. That's just horrendous. And now you know why these shows exist. Now you know why, you come to YouTube, you come to social media, all the places that they want to ban. And I wonder why that is. I wonder why they're trying to ban us independent voices that apparently were, on the low end of the totem pole. Like, we're never going to get any confirmation. We're not authoritative sources. But yet they want to ban us. And maybe it's because I don't have bodyguards. If someone asks me a question about a certain thing, I will try to acknowledge to my best ability. I'm not going to be the stooge for the corporate estate in the horrendous way that they did.